Welcome to the session. So today I am here to explain stack using linked list. So how to implement a stack using linked list. So in the earlier session we already discussed how to implement a stack using arrays. So in this session we are going to discuss about stack using linked list. So before going to start the session, let me recall what is the definition of stack. So stack is a linear data structure and it follows the principle LIFO. LIFO means last inserted element deletes first. LIFO means last in first out. Means the last inserted element deletes first. So in this unit, two kinds of ADTs we have designed, or two kinds of simulations for the stack. One is stack using array and another one is stack using linked list. So this is already completed in the earlier session. Right now we are going to discuss about how the stack is imagined or how the stack is simulated with the help of linked list. So we know the linked list pattern like this. It's a single linked list. So in the single linked list, each and every node consists of one data item and another one is address of the next node. Say here 2, say 5, 1, this is null. In general, we are called it as this is a starting node or header node. Starting node or header node. So here the linked list having two different kinds of ends, but in general stack having only one end is opened and another end is closed. So here one pointer is there. We know that linked list doesn't have any index, only we have a pointer. So here only one pointer is there. So in our imagination or in our simulation, the stack can be imagined as this is called as top. Means the header one is called as top. Means the header node address or header name is changes to top. So at the time insertion performs from this end, deletion also performs this end, that is nothing but stack. Insertion performs from this end, deletion also performs from this end is called stack. Means insertion operation is called as push. So the push operation is, what is the operation we already written in the linked list inserted beginning function. Similarly, the deletion operation is called as pop. The pop operation what we have written deleted beginning function we have written in the single linked list. The stack simulation is over. That is what we see in this session, and two more applications we are to discuss in the same session also. So here that is the mean of this is top. Means the starting node address is in the top pointer. So the top value is 9. This is recently inserted element. Whenever we want to delete, this one is deleted. Next 1 is inserted, 7 is inserted, 3 is inserted, 4 is inserted, 2 is inserted, and so on. The stack is expanded with the linked list like this. So this is a prototype model of stack using linked list. So how we are designed? Step by step we will go for an example manually fast. So we know that for insertion, say suppose I am inserting an element push 5. What happens? So initially this is top, the top points to null. So when we are calling this operation, what happens is top points to some address, say suppose some 1000. So here the first element is inserted like this. Suppose whenever you are invoking one more element, say push of 4, what happens? So the top points to starting location. So at this time the element or the node is inserted at the beginning position. So the starting node address is changes. So like this. Suppose you are invoking one more function, push of say 3. Okay. So again the top value changes. Why? Because insertion operation happens at beginning position. So 3 followed by 4 followed by 5. This is the way we have simulated stack using linked list push operation. So in case of pop operation, what happens? Suppose we are invoking pop operation. What happens? The starting element is deleted. Means what happens? So 2030 is the starting address. The first element is 4 and the next element is 5. Last one is 9. So like this, we are performing only 2 operations. One is push and another one is pop. 2 are related to inserted beginning and deleted beginning in the single linked list. So right now we will go for implementation. How to do the code for this. How to write a code for this. Okay. So the first thing is void push. Here we need to pass what is the element currently we want to insert into the stack. Okay. So first, whenever we want to insert an element into the stack, first we need to create a node. So for that, I am creating a node, struct node. So here, first I want to create an ADT. Okay, so this is the beginning operation, right? So I want to create an ADT. So from third unit onwards, I am created ADT with C++. So that's my class stack. Class stack. Here I am giving the name as SLL ADT. The same name here you have written. Okay. So here, first I am creating a node structure. So class node. So same int data and node star next means address of the next node. Here I am created a pointer that is called top. So up to now this is in private region. All the declaration is in private region. So here first I am declaring a constructor function. In the constructor function, the top value initialized to null. Why? Because initially in the previous manual example I told the top points to null first. Whenever I am calling the insert operation, so then it creates one by one node and it adds the node into linked list. So in this case, just we have to change struct node. Struct node is not required. So directly we can write very simple pattern. So like node star t. T is a temporary node. After that, I want to allocate the memory to that node. So what type of memory is allocated? New node. Node type of memory is allocated. New is a dynamic memory allocation operator in C++. After that, so T of data is equal to element. The next T of next is equal to null. So these two things I have to do. After that, so right now the node is ready. So we have to check whether stack is empty or not. So if the top points to null means stack is empty, no elements are inserted in that case. So at the time simply you can write top is equal to T. Top is equal to T. In other case, means already elements are inserted. At the time what we have to do is T of next is equal to top, means top address, means the top points to some address, that is the second node. So the first node becomes T. So T of next having second node address. So that's why I am written like this. T of next is equal to top. And from this point onwards, T is the first node. So top is equal to T. This is the push operation. So first I am created an ADT. So here I am declared the node structure and I created a top pointer. The top pointer is equal to null. Okay. This is the constructor function, default constructor. Then I am created a node, allocate the memory to that node and initialize the memory and initialize the values to that node. Then adjusting the pointers. Okay. Next we will go for how to write a pop operation. So void pop. Void pop. So whenever we want to delete the node, initially again we are creating a node, means temporary node T, and we are assigning that memory to this node. After that we are freeze the memory. Okay. So initially we are checking that if not start here. So here the start is called as top. Okay. Start is called as top. So top equal to null means empty linked list, empty stack. So simply we are printing the same. Stack is empty. You can write it as stack is under flags. Okay. Else case. So the first element we are deleting. Right. So T is equal to top. The first node address is in top. The address is assigned to T. After that, top is equal to top of next. Top is equal to top of next. So whenever we want to delete what is the element we are deleted from the stack, you want to print it, you can write the print statement here. So cout T of data. This is the deleted element. Then we are invoking that free of T. We are freeze the memory. What is the memory is allocated to T? That is the one and deleted. This is the pop operation. So very simple. Once you know the single linked list is very clear, you can easily simulate the queue and stack by using single linked list. Okay. Next, what are the remaining operations? We need to print all the elements in the stack. So for that, you are written void display. Okay. So here also one specific condition is common. If top is null, what happens is stack is empty. What happens is stack is empty. In our case, so we need to travel. So for traveling purpose, we need a temporary pointer. So node T. So initially the top address is copied into T, and while T not equal to null, each and every time you are printing T of data. T of data you are printing, then T is equal to T of next. Same traversal code what you are written in the single linked list, here also we have written the same thing. This is the display operation. This is the display operation. So here this is the while clause, this is the else clause, this is the void clause. I am closing the class also. Only 3 functions. By adding constructor, 4 functions. First one is the constructor function, second one is the push function, third one is a pop function, fourth one is display function. After that, you have to write the main function by repetitively iterating the choices. 1 for push, 2 for pop, 3 for display. Enter your choice. Kind of thing. We want to check all the functions, whether working correctly or not. So this is a stack using linked list. So then we go for what are the applications of stack. Applications of stack I already discussed in the last class. So in your syllabus, totally 4 different type of applications we want to implement it personally. One is reverse a list. Second one is factorial calculation. Third one is how to convert the infix expression into postfix. Fourth one is how to evaluate a postfix expression. So in this session, I want to realize 2 applications. In that, the first one is how to reverse a list. How to reverse a list. So in case of a list category, you can take an array or a list, whatever it is maybe. Suppose this is an array like. So an array consists of 5 elements. I want to print these elements in a reverse pattern. So what I have to do? What I have to do is insert 1 by 1 element into stack. Say suppose I am inserting first element 5. 5 is inserted. Next I want to insert the next element 4. 4 is inserted. Next I want to insert the first element. First is inserted. Next I want to insert the next element. 2 is inserted. Next I want to insert the next element. 3. 3 is inserted. So what are the elements which are in the list? I am inserted 1 by 1 into stack. So later I am retrieving 1 by 1 element from the stack. So what is the first element? 3. So 3 is deleted. Next 2 is deleted. The next 1 is deleted. The next 4 is deleted. And at last 5 is deleted. This is the reverse of the list. Try to verify it. So 3 is the last element. Last before element is 2. The next element is 1. The next element is 4. The next element is 5. This is one very simple and beautiful application of stack. How to write a code for this? Once you know the logic, you can easily write the code. So how to write the code? Implementation. Just I am using one function, that is void reverse. This is also a function in the stack. Why? Because we need push operation and we need pop operation also. So push pop operations already I implemented in the previous session. So just add this function into the class. Fine, you can call the reverse function, it will work. Okay, so void reverse. It doesn't return anything, but it takes array as an argument. So that's why I am writing array as an argument. Array as an argument. Okay. So array base address and size of an array. These two are required. Once you are passing array as an argument, 2 arguments you have to pass. One is an array and another one is size of an array. Right. So first what you call? Just I am writing one for loop function. So for loop counter variable I is required. So for I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Means 1 by 1 I am retrieving. So at the time of retrieval, I am invoking push function. So push for. So once this loop is completed, what are the elements in an array? All the array are pushed into the stack. Means insert operation is over. Insertion operation is over. Then after that, I am invoking 1 by 1 operation pop. So there, when I am written the pop function, it returns some element. So here I am printing that element. Okay. So the same loop I am continue for I is equal to 0. After end of this only I am writing. This is a separate loop. For I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, C out, pop. So pop function returns some integer value. One time it returns an integer value, the value is printed by output string function. Okay. So cout prints the each and every value. Then close. This is the implementation of reverse function. Very simple. Very simple. First you are taking array as an argument. So one by one elements we are pushed into the stack. After that one by one element pop into the stack. See, the same kind of application you already written in the single linked list, but there that is different. The linked list is exactly constructed in a reverse pattern. Here I am printing the list in a reverse pattern. I am not constructed, printing. Okay. So this is the first application by using stack, reverse of a list. Okay. Then we will go for the second kind of application, that is called factorial calculation. See, generally we know that for factorial we are using recursion. In general, for calculating the factorial, we are using recursion. So what is recursion? Recursion means the function call itself, the function is nothing but recursion. So the same thing here written. A recursive function is defined as a function that calls itself to solve a smaller version of its task until final call is made, does not require any call itself. Means the recursion is also one kind of loop. When the loop breaks, where the call doesn't require itself the function call, there the recursion loop will breaks. Okay. So here, whenever we want to implement recursion, two kinds of cases are required. One is base case and another one is recursive case. Base case means where the loop ends. Here we already mentioned does not require any call to itself. That is the kind of base case. So in which the problem is simple enough to be solved directly without making any further calls to the same function. I will give an example for this. Okay. And in case of recursive call, it is required further calls. Very simple is it requires further calls. In that case, that is called recursive case. Okay. So in which the first problem handled divided into smaller subparts. Second, the function calls itself with the subparts of the problem uptime until we will solve separately. Okay. So whenever we want to calculate the factorial of a number, we are written like fact n is equal to n into factor of n minus 1. We know this step very well. So this is called fact of n minus 1. This is called recursion. This is called recursion. Okay. So what is the base step for this? This is recursive step. What is the base step for this? When the fact becomes 1, simply you are written as 1. When fact becomes 1, the value is 1. 1 factorial value is 1. Okay, directly you can write down. That is the thing. So, how the stack application is like this? One kind of thing is, at the time of initiation, I already told system stack. Wherever we are invoking a function, so in the background, a stack is working to successful call and to successfully return where the function call is happened. In both the cases, stack is working. So that's why factorial is a one beautiful kind of application. one way you can write like this, like void, one way you can write like this, void, sorry, not void, so how to write it is, so int, why? Because recursion functions definitely return something, okay? So int fact, int n, int fact, int n. So we are passing n as an argument. Fact is a function. So here, if n double equal to 1, this is the base case. Directly we are written as return 1. Return 1. When the n value becomes 1, return 1. Else case, we have to return like return n into fact of n minus 1. This is the recursive function. See, here it looks like we doesn't use any stack. Sir, the same program we already learned in the C language. But how it is a stack application means when the background system stack is working. Or otherwise, in front also you can use one stack to calculate the factorial of given number also. How to do this? I will show you. Okay? How to do this? I will show you. Right? So this is the one, and another one. Another solution for this is, suppose I want to calculate factorial of say 5. Say 5. How to do it? Just verify. So void factorial, I have written the function. So you are passing some value, say 5, I am passing. So the 5 value is in n. Okay. Just what happened in the previous example, the same kind of example I am doing here. So int I. Int I. Right. So first I am inserting one by one value into stack. Say I is equal to 1, I less than nor equal to n, I plus plus. I value starts from 1. Why? Because whenever you want to calculate the factorial, 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. So the ending point is 1. That's why I am starting from 1 up to n. What I am doing? Just push off 5. Means what happens is, I am creating a stack, and in the stack I am inserting one by one value like this, 2, 1. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that I am inserting one by one element. Right. Say like this. For clearly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that, I am creating a stack and I am inserted one by one values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. After that, what happens? I am deleting one element. I am finding the multiplication of two numbers, and I am pushing into the stack. Same kind of thing I am doing. So what I am doing is, one by one element I am so far. Okay, so here I am created one more one, that is f. Okay, so each and every time I am deleted one element, I am multiplied with f. So f is equal to 1. So same kind of iterations. I is equal to 1, I less than or equal to n, I plus plus. Okay, so what I am doing here, f is equal to f into pop. So each and every time the pop function returns some value. So in the first iteration, what happens? 1 into 5. Why? Because when we are deleting an element, 5 is removed. In the next iteration, 4 is removed. So what happens? 5 into 4. At the time f value is 5. Next time, 20 into 3. Next time, 60 into 2. Next time, 120 into 1. At last, the f returns to 120. Right? So, here I am printing the value Cout f. F prints the factorial of a number. So, here I am using push and pop. So, this way also you can find the factorial of a given number by using stack. So, here directly we are using the stack, but here indirectly when the function invokes frequently, background a system stack is working. Both the solutions are same. Both are stack applications only. Right? So, in the conclusion case, so in the today's session, I explained how the stack is simulated with single linked list. Single linked list. So I will show the pattern. After that, manual example I am given how the stack is simulated. Manual example I am given. Third, stack SLADT is designed. Implementation part also over. Fourth one, we are moving to the applications. In the application part, reverse of the list. How we are finding the reverse of the list? The code also I am given. At last, find the factorial of a number. Factorial calculation. How we are using stack is also given. So here two solutions are given. One is by using recursion, second one without recursion also. So this is the stack implementation and stack applications. So in the next session, we will see the remaining two applications also. How to convert the infix expression into postfix evaluation. Thank you.